Here we go. I'm just waiting to get the notification, brother Captain.
Okay.
And okay, I see so much. Okay, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a special edition of Off the Record this evening. We have a great guest joining us on the People's Podcast, student Captain Andrew Muhammad of Baltimore, Maryland, Mosque number 6. I'm very honored that you would take time to have a conversation with us this evening. First of all, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wow, alaikum salam, soldier. How you feeling?
Excellent, sir. Brother Captain, I want to thank you on behalf of myself and my family, and thank your family for their sacrifice as well. Brother Captain, the first question I want to know is, when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
Man, I heard the teachings, I want to say 1990, 94. I was inside of a prison cell in Roxbury in Hagerstown. Yeah, and my mother sent me a tape titled "Obedience is the Highest Form of Sacrifice."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I studied that tape for 6 months of the minister words, writing it down, recording it on the paperwork that they give you inside the prison. And I took notes, man, and it blew me away because I never did that before. Only read one book, and that was Goodfellas when I was in prison.
Yes, sir.
But for some reason, that tape, man, I studied that tape, and that tape changed my life, bro.
Praise be to Allah.
Life, yes, sir, yes, sir.
And why? How long were you in prison for?
Well, initially I had 60 years.
60.
60 years. Initially, I had 60 years, and I wind up copping out the 10 years no parole. Yeah, yep. And very, very unfortunate. I thought I was going to beat it, but you know how things go. You know how the streets are.
Yes, sir.
People talk, and so I copped out, and I took my 10 years no parole, and I started my sentence in 1993 of August. And I was released 2000 of June. Yes, sir. Yep.
Praise be to Allah. And why did you accept the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Most Honorable Farrakhan?
Well, I was raised up in the church. My mother took me to church every single Sunday. Every single Sunday, my mother took me to church, man, and I really enjoyed it. What I didn't enjoy was the part where, you know, when somebody get the Holy Ghost and they start jumping and stuff.
Yes, sir.
And I was afraid that was going to happen to my mother. So thank God it never happened.
Yes, sir.
It never happened. But to this very day, man, I love the Black church, brother. I mean, my mother planted a beautiful seed in me. And to this very day, I love the Black church, man. I love the Black church to this very day.
Praise be to Allah.
But it just didn't work for me at that time in prison.
Yes, sir.
Even when I went to prison, I was still going to church. So after about 3.5 years of going to church and not really connecting with the pastor, I just needed something else. I needed something else. I needed some discipline. I needed some structure. And I was getting in trouble when I was inside of prison. And I knew I didn't want to come home and be the same nigga that I was when I went in.
Yes, sir.
I knew that. So one of the brothers, the brother who was in charge, he was a captain. His name was Big Mark. His name was Mark. And he invited me out. He invited me out. And that was in 1996. And okay. I joined in 97. And I never looked back, man. I never looked back, but that changed my life. The nation, the discipline, the structure, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, that changed my life. That's what I needed.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful, sir. And thank you all for watching. Walaikum salam, Sister Risa. Brothers from Baltimore saying, Walaikum salam tonight, brothers from Baltimore saying that's their captain. I have a question for you as well, sir. Yes, sir. Could you put us in the, paint a picture of us being you're in prison, but you in the nation? Do y'all, how are y'all drilling? Do y'all get to eat bean pie? Y'all get to get the final call? Like, how is that?
Man, that's a great question, brother, because a lot of people don't know that the nation is hated inside the prison system, man. They are hated inside the prison system, but you can't drill. Where I was at, you couldn't drill. They consider that a military maneuver,
Yes,
so
sir.
they wouldn't allow us to do that. They did allow us to. Well, we couldn't get bean pies either. We couldn't get no bean pies.
Yes,
Not where I was at. You know,
yes, sir.
I was in the mountains. You know, we could barely get guests in there. You know, but the brothers that I was under that helped train me was a brother named Craig Muhammad. He's still locked up. He did about 30 years, and he's still locked up. He's a straight soldier. He's actually my mentor. You know, my mentor, and he has 30 years in, and I still talk to him the very day. You know, and I've been sending him money for the last 20 years since I've been home from prison, and supporting whatever his needs are. I support him, you know.
Praise be to Allah.
Yeah, but the nation, you know, for the brothers that take it serious inside, it changes your life immediately. Immediately, once you accept that you're going to change your mind and your thinking and your behavior, and bruh, that was it right there. That was it for me. I mean, I thank Allah for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, man, because I don't believe nothing else could have changed me, brother. Because I tried all the religions, you know, and that's not to knock none of them. But what works for me and the impact that Allah allowed me to make in our city and in prison.
Yes, sir.
Because we were so tight in prison. Honestly, when the day they told me that I made minimum security, I didn't want to leave the brothers. I didn't want to leave. As God is my witness, man, it sounds crazy as hell saying that, and people listening to that, but I didn't want to leave the prison, man. I wanted to stay right there with them because I was so in tune with God in the brotherhood. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Outside of your mentor, did you keep in contact with any of the other brothers once they were released?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Yeah, actually, I've been blessed. I've been blessed through our prison minister, Brother Elliot Muhammad. I've been blessed to be able to visit all the prisons in the state of Maryland, and and so I always keep in contact with them. You know, history won't allow us to do what we want to do and how we need to really help them brothers. It's just certain things they won't allow us to do. So we have to obey their laws, you know, as it relates to the state facilities. But yeah, I still keep in contact with them soldiers, man, and they know the work we're doing. But also, you know, our nation, our student minister, Brother Carlos Muhammad, we have a radio show that's been on for about 30 plus years.
Praise be to Allah. And
every single week, you know, Brother Carlos gives them a shout out. But you know, our student prison coordinator, Brother Elliot, Brother Donald Muhammad, Brother Isaiah, we got a whole crew of brothers that visit the prisons on a monthly basis. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No doubt. That's
beautiful.
Yes, sir. No doubt. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. My next question. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, I want to thank you too, brother, because I know I told you this before, but I want the people to know that our nation, man, we have a lot of unsung heroes.
Yes, sir.
We have a lot of brothers that's been putting in works for years.
Yes, sir.
And to me, what you're doing is truly an honor because it inspired me, first of all. And I'm just honored to accept this. This is an honor for me, and I mean this to the bottom of my heart because what the work that we're doing and the guidance that we're getting from the Honorable Minister Lord Farrakhan, I mean, and to me, you just moving it forward.
Praise be to Allah.
Moving it forward, and this has to continue, brother. So please keep this rolling, man. Please.
Yes, sir. I'm trying. Thank you very much, Brother Captain.
Yes, sir.
My next question was, how did your parents feel once you accepted the teachings?
Man, yeah. Well, you know, mom's always, she 100, man. My mother ride or die, you know.
Okay, yes, sir.
She ride or die. Anything if I'd have been worshiping chicken, you know, she would have been straight up. Yeah, yes, sir. My mother, man, my mother was she's really the backbone, you know, for me. Outside of the you know, my aunts, my grandmothers, you know, but my mother was number one, you know, number one. And I've been getting in trouble all my life.
Yes, sir.
And she never turned her back on me, man.
Praise
Never.
be to Allah. Praise
Never.
be to Allah.
Not in the courtroom, not in prison, not in juvenile justice, not in, I mean, nowhere. So she supports me 100% with the nation.
Yes, sir.
And she was the one that sent me the tape of the leader.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So she's in love with the nation, and she's been going to church all her life. But you know, my father, I'm a junior, but I don't know who senior is. You know, and trust me, it's really painful because you know, the leader, the minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he allowed me, he told us to thank our fathers and respect our fathers, even if he wasn't in your life for one day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I took that guidance, man, and I have seen him in my 51 years of living. I have seen him maybe about 7 or 8 times. But he don't know who I am, you know. Like he don't, like if he seen me today, he wouldn't know who I was. I was at a funeral about 4 or 5 years ago, and he asked my cousin, you know, I'm looking right in his face, and he didn't know who the hell I was, man, and it bothered me.
Yes, sir.
It bothered the hell out of me, you know. So, you know, and that's one of our biggest situations or issues in our community.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Where our fathers, man, neglect, you know, our sons, you know, their sons.
Yes, sir.
So I think a lot that you know, I have a son that's 9, and I have a son that's 28.
Yes, sir.
That when I married my wife, you know, I took him on, I adopted him.
Yes, sir.
And me and him super tight to this very day.
Allahu Akbar.
Yeah, we're super tight. So and that's one of the reasons why that I'm thankful for the nation, because it brought the best out of me. And that's why I teach and train young men in prison, in the streets, Boy Scouts, Boys and Girls Club, in the church, in the mosque, in the streets, wherever I go.
Yes, sir.
You know, training young men. Yes, sir.
And I thank you for that, Brother Captain, because I've always admired that. As soon as I saw you on Facebook, we were friends, and I saw the pictures, I said, y'all, let's see what the captain is doing in Baltimore. The young soldiers, not only that you mentor, but the ones that you have working on your staff and around you. That's a beautiful sight, Brother Captain, and we salute you for that.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. My next question is, could you, once you got out of prison, you go into the mosque and you're in Baltimore, could you paint the picture of who's there and who trained you?
Oh yeah, no doubt. Oh man, that's history right there. So when I first came home in June of 2000, I was actually going to the mosque in a halfway house. You know, they would give you a pass on the weekends.
Okay,
so
okay.
You had the option, you know, you can go to the liquor store, or you can go to the mosque, you know, or you can go and find a girl, or you can go to the mosque.
Yes, sir.
You know, I went to the mosque on Sundays, and I visit my family on Saturdays, right? And so I got my ex in October of 2000, and that was right around the time of the Million Family March. So I'm coming up on 20 years, man. And
praise be to Allah.
But when I first came home, my first trainer was Captain David Muhammad.
Okay, yes, sir.
He actually just came in from LA. He had just came in, and I seen him getting out of a truck. I was like, man, that's Brother Dave, because he wasn't there right away. The mosque was actually in transition. We really didn't have a captain. Brother Jamal Muhammad, he was the acting captain when I first got there. And he wasn't there long, but he still helped me out when he was there.
Okay, yes, sir.
He still helped me out, you know, so I'm thankful for him as well. But my direct trainer was Brother David Muhammad, Captain Al Muhammad. I'm going to show you a picture. I want to know if you can see this right here.
I can't really see it, but I can't really see it, no, sir.
That's it. Okay. What about now?
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's Captain Aaron. I mean Captain Dave and Cap Mal. They was the men who trained me.
Praise
And
be
then
to
we had
Allah.
another brother, first officer brother Chuck Muhammad, and me and him rock like day in and day out. You know, like he would hold the door, I would check, then I would come back out. He would hold the door, I would check. I mean, that's how it was, man. Things was a little rough coming home. We was in transition, so some of the men had left for whatever reason, but Dave immediately called the men together and got the Mars back jumping. But I learned so much from them too, man. I learned more from them watching them and listening to them than them actual hands-on training.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that's who trained me, man. Brother Dave, brother Al, first officer, brother Chuck, and then also brother Carlos always been my minister.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Always been my minister, and really he was like a lieutenant anyway. He was a lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
And a lot of brothers don't know that about him, but he was hard as nails, man. He was hard. He was harder than brother David. Because Dave was laid back. But Dave was a good teacher, though.
Yes, sir.
Dave was a good teacher, but brother Carlos would go hard, and everything he did for me, it helped me out.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Speaking of brother Carlos, his wife, Sister Tracy, said she can't really see you, sir. Is there a way that you could position the light a little different so she can see you better? Oh. Yes, sir.
How's that? What'd she say? Damn.
Yes. Yes, sir. Brother Desmond says, ASA, Brother Captain, beautiful spirit. Yeah. Sister Tracy says she loves the vulnerability of these interviews. Great job, brother. Thank you, ma'am. Great interview, Brother Andrew. Brother Victor P. Muhammad says, my captain. Look at Captain. Brother Anthony Peters. My sister Mimi says, ASA. Beautiful. My next question for you, sir, is when did you go from seeing the Mossad Min's Farrakhan as maybe a political leader or an activist to being someone who was divinely guided?
Man, yeah. He saved my life.
Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. Praise be to Allah. It's really a shame that the world or the powers that be don't give that man the credit he deserves. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean, I can't, outside of God, I can't give nobody else credit but him.
Allahu Akbar. Yes, sir.
Word is bomb.
Yes, sir.
And I met him 3 times,
Praise be to Allah.
and I never got the chance to tell him face to face that he saved my life. But I did talk to him. I just couldn't tell him what I wanted to tell him, because I know I should be dead right now.
Yes, sir.
I should be dead, or 100 years life in prison.
Yes, sir.
So I really don't. I do care what people say and think about him, but it's never going to bother me because I know what he did for me.
Allahu Akbar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So because I never had a father, I don't know how that feels. I don't know how I feel not to have a father. I don't know, but I know how I want my son to feel.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is why I said earlier that I wish I had a relationship with my father,
Yes, sir.
because when a man don't have another man to show him how to be a man,
Yes, sir.
he suffers immediately.
Yes, sir.
He suffers immediately. Immediately he suffers. That even out the womb, if a male is not there, he suffers immediately.
Yes, sir.
And that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. My mother did the best she could, man. But I caught living in hell because I never had a father to raise me, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But I haven't met a man in my life, man, to come close to him, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's nobody on this planet. And I met a lot of strong men.
Yes, sir.
I've been beside a lot of doctors and a lot of lawyers and a lot of politicians and a lot of captains.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I haven't met a man in my life like him.
Praise be to Allah.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful, sir. Thank you very much for your transparency, and thank you all for watching. You said you met the Most Honorable Farrakhan 3 times. Can you let us know how it felt to be in his presence, and what did you think once you saw him physically?
Man, the very first time that I made contact with him, he told me he loved me, and that was in the airport, and I was a lieutenant then. And he looked me in my eyes, he hugged me, shook my hand, and he told me he loved me.
Allahu Akbar. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that was one of the realest goddamn, I had a lot of people tell me they love me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But that was different.
Yes, sir.
That was
yes,
different, because he looked me in my eyes and he hugged me, and I'm looking right at him. And it felt like eternity, man, just hugging him. And that was my first time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And honest, as God is my witness, brother Josh, the one thing I said to myself when I came home from prison, I said the only thing I want to do is just meet him first, and then I can die after that. As God is my witness, man. I didn't know that in 20 years though, he would still be here, or I would still be here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I stopped thinking about that because, because you always hear he's going to leave us and this and that. You always hear that, and I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Just wanted to shake his hand,
Yes, sir.
But the second time I had the chance to meet him, I talked to him face to face. Our student minister, Brother Carlos, and Supreme Captain Mustafa.
Yes, sir.
They set it up for me. and I talked to him, and it was just real brief though. It was maybe like 5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And it was at the airport. I sat beside him, and and I just told him I love him and I thanked him, and he flipped it on me. He told me that no, brother, I thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I love you.
Beautiful. Yes, sir.
And then the next time we was at the airport in DC at the Reagan airport, and I kind of I went in with him, and he told me that Brother Carlos had introduced me to him again, because that's just how it was, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
If he knew who I was, I would be grateful, but Brother Carlos introduced him to me again, because I really don't, I'm honored if he knew exactly who I was, but it's even better when somebody tell him who I am.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So he told me that he basically said, take care of believers. And he said, give them the restricted laws, support them. And he told me that he said that you very watchful. That's what he told me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He's absolutely right about that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So all three was very brief encounters, but I'll never forget them, man.
Allahu Akbar. That's beautiful, sir. And Brother Captain, there are some people who've been in the nation 40 years, and I see them make statuses like they never got to see the Most High Min Farrakhan in person or touch the hem of his garment. So it's an honor that you got to meet him 3 times, and yeah. Man, that's beautiful, sir. Brother Victor P. Muhammad says, "Assalamu alaikum to you both." Sister Teresa Pearl says, "Beautiful testimony." Sister Tracy says, "The light is better, but still not enough." Brother Dr. Rodale Hall says, "Man, Captain Andrew, super proud of you." Sister Tracy says, "These interviews pull at your soul. Praise be to Allah." Philip Leaf says, "Captain Andrew is a great leader and a great father and mentor." Brother Isaiah says, "Take your time, Cap." Brother Michael Muhammad says, "Assalamu alaikum, brother. Walaikum salam, sir. Beautiful testimony." Brother Marquis said, "Exhale, Allahu Akbar." Brother Rashad, my brother says, "That's real love." Brother Willie Muhammad says, "Listen to me. I would vouch for this brother, Andrew Muhammad. You got tears in my eyes, brother Captain. I know how you feel, my brother. That statement that he saved your life is the best response, brothers, and the greatest evidence. Brother Captain Andrew is a leader of men. No debate, all facts, and no cap, like you all say, Brother Joshua." Thank you, Brother Willie, for that. Brother, a lot of people just, my sister Miriam says, "I love you, the sincerity," and thank you, Brother Joshua, for allowing our brother his time and space to be vulnerable and process the question. The answer is powerful. Brother Benny from the E-team says, "Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, sir." He calls you his big brother. And Sister Risa says, "You're a beautiful brother." It's just a lot of comments. Thank you very much. And thank you all for watching Out of People's Podcast. My next question is, has there ever been a time you've been in prison in Baltimore? But Baltimore is just like, just my times of visiting, it just seemed hood, it seemed like street, it's gritty. Has there ever been a time that you've had to face fear, maybe death threats? And if so, how did you overcome that?
Yeah, I mean, man, in prison, honestly, like, even if you don't want to have a knife, you got to have one. It's actual facts, man. I have 15 knives. You know, I had a brother where I was from, West Baltimore. He would go into the ceiling and take the knives out of the lights and then sharpen them up in the shower. So every day, you know, whether you had a beef or not, just people who you walk with, you know, it's an opportunity there for death to be there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If you walking around like shit, you know you coming home, then you very unconscious.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's no guarantee you coming home from prison.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, no guarantee you coming home from prison, man. So so to answer your question, absolutely. I never had no death threats as in I'm gonna kill you in a prison, but people don't normally tell you that anyway.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I didn't play with prison. I tell you that.
Yes, sir.
I didn't play with that, man. I didn't play with it at all. Same way out in the streets, man. I don't play with the streets, you know.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I do know that that was the main reason why I joined the nation as well, because I didn't want to see our brothers bleed on behalf of me or behalf of somebody I was connected to. I didn't want to be responsible for that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's another reason why I joined the nation, because I never believed in hurting our brothers. I never believed in violence.
Yes, sir.
Even when I was in the streets, I always got money. I wasn't no killer. I
Yes,
wasn't
sir.
no killer. I never claimed that.
Yes, sir.
I had weapons, and I would have defended myself at all costs. But I avoided that.
Yes, sir.
You know, I avoided that, man. I had a little bit of sense, even though I was out in the streets using drugs, hustling, doing everything that drug dealers do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, I had my ups, I had my downs. I had more goods than bads, though, you know.
Yes, sir.
In the streets. But the bottom line, none of it was good.
Mm.
None of it was good. None of it. You know, when I look back and reflect back on it and what I know now, if I knew better, I would have done better.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, but growing up, my examples and role models was kingpins.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to be like them. Shit, you know. I ain't had no clothes. I ain't had no tennis shoes. My mother was working 2-3 jobs. You know, she did her best. So, shit, my upbringing was rough as hell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, rough as hell. So, but you know, I just didn't believe in hurting brothers, bro, Joshua. I wanted to stay away from that in the streets, in prison. You know, so that's why I thank God for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, man, because he didn't want us hurting one another. He wanted us to help one another.
Yes, sir.
But he also wanted us to be real men too.
Yes, sir.
So we would defend ourselves if we attacked. But you know, I just didn't believe in that violence, man. You know, that wasn't me. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That wasn't me. And to this very day, I have the same principles. You know, I want to before I go to war with a brother, man. I want to sit down with you first and see how I can resolve it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's me right there. I'm sick and tired of this killing, you know, and this shit happening in our country, in every major city in America.
Yes, sir.
I'm sick and tired of this shit. I've been sick and tired of it. So, you know, the last thing we need to be doing is hurting one another.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you very much for your honesty. Sister Tracy says, much better light, and now we can see you. Excellent. My next question is, because of your experience, they have like the television show from back in the day, but they've redone it. They did it on the Boondocks, so like a scared straight mentality. When you go into the community and you tell the young men of the stories and of what is life like in prison and the street life, is that effective?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Very, very effective. The key thing is you can't judge them. You know, so if I lived that life and I did, why would I judge you now? Because now you live in that life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your circumstances was probably just like mine. You ain't had no father. Your mother did her best, or you ain't had no mother, and your grandmother did her best. So you wanted some tennis shoes. You wanted a chicken box.
Yes, sir.
You know, you wanted a sweatsuit. You wanted a bike. You wanted a car. You wanted just some money in your pocket.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And so they don't know better. So, I mean, that's like, to me, the one who lived the life is the best teacher.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The one who lived it, because not only can I relate to you, but I can tell you what I went through, and then I can show you how I got out of it as well.
Allahu Akbar.
So the lifestyle is very effective. So if the brothers that live that lifestyle will go back to the streets that we tore up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We got so many brothers that live that life that don't bother the streets now. They go to work, they come home, they may go to church, they may go to the masjid, they may go to the mosque, and then that's it. And that's why our cities are in the condition that we're in, because the black men, specifically the ones that live that life, we don't give back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We talk that smack, but it's no action.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Dr. Rodell Hall says, how can we share if we don't have any scars? And Brother Desmond says, don't judge them. Praise be to Allah. I have a brief intermission just to give a shout out to our sponsors of this podcast, designersofcomposure.com, Khalik Boutique on Instagram, Supreme Men's Clothing in St. Louis, Missouri, 10835 West Florissant Avenue, zip code 63136, phone number 314-528-555. My brother Rashad Muhammad's video production, political press with Street Premiere. They do video editing. They got a drone. They're working on a film and a lot of video. They're working on a lot of major things. I don't want to say too much of what they do before they do it, but they got a lot of stuff coming up. If you need some video editing, reach out to them. My sister Miriam Muhammad, ABC I Love Me, the coloring book, as well as the children's book, both of which are on Amazon. My second book, which is on Amazon, Cleopatra, is a children's book. Make sure you all get that. And also, Brother Captain, I want to thank you for getting my first book, No Father, No Excuse. You showed
absolutely.
I got to use one of the first people that got it. I appreciate that and for showing love. And last but not least, my father's book, Soldier in the Movement of Christ, Abdul Sharif Muhammad at AbdulSharifMuhammad.com. Thank you all for your sponsorship. I want to, if you all have a business you would like to sponsor a podcast, J Imagination on Cash App. Thank you very much. My next question for you, Brother Captain.
Hold on, Chief. Yeah, let me interrupt. Let me just thank your family, because I never had an opportunity to soldier under your father, when he was a Supreme Captain, right?
Yes, sir.
And your mother was the national captain as well, right?
National Vanguard Captain, yes, sir.
And I didn't know only thing I knew was what the believers told me, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And one thing I can say, not one thing, but I would say this about our student minister, Brother Carlos Muhammad. He told me, man, he said, your father, bro. I mean, bro, Carlos don't get nobody props if Andrew. Real talk, man.
Yes, sir.
Because I can't speak on your father because I never had that experience,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But I'll just use Brother Carlos and Brother David.
Yes, sir.
Bruh, man, he was on another planet, man.
Praise be to Allah.
And I'm so thankful for him. I'm thankful for your father, your brother, your sister, your family, your nieces and nephews, because y'all really was like, I guess we would say, the second family. And honor and respect is due,
Yes,
know.
Sir.
So, and then I do want to share this as well, when your father came here, he was here last year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we met with our Christian brothers, pastors, so Pastor Marvin McKinstry, and a couple other pastors from Kingdom Life Church.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Morton and Elder Hall. Elder Doug, excuse me. And we had a beautiful meeting with them, man. And your father was instrumental. He was instrumental in helping us with that organizing of the Christian community.
Praise be to Allah.
Word is bond. Word is bond. We had a private meeting with them for about 2 hours when he was here. And then that Monday, we had an all men's meeting. We had almost 150 men show up. All men meeting, right? And your father was blown away, man. He was on fire. He was screaming for about 45 minutes straight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah.
Yeah, so you make sure you give him the greetings, man.
I will.
And, but he was excited, and we helped create that atmosphere. He deserved that, man. So, and then I just want to let you know, I'm super impressed with you, brother. You and Brother Alton, as far as the DIs.
Oh, praise be to Allah.
Because I gotta keep it 100. I never really drilled.
Okay, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I never really drilled. We didn't do it in prison, and we did have a couple of DIs when I came home, but we wasn't that strong as I know we could have been.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I take some of the responsibility for that. I don't put it on nobody.
Yes, sir.
But the bottom line is, I got mad respect for you, brother.
Thank you very much, Rick.
Every time you did your formation, your drill sessions, like I buy all the drill tapes, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And not only do I laugh when you perform, but it's entertaining and it's serious and it sparks something in me.
Praise be to Allah.
I just want you to know I love that part about you, Soldier. I just want you to know that.
Thank you very much, Brother Captain. And my brother Rashad says, my father said the brothers in Baltimore showed him a lot of love. So we appreciate you all for holding it down. Thank you, sir. And thank you for your compliment as well about drill. My next question is, I look forward to hopefully Baltimore can drill, because y'all got a whole bunch of young people. That's amazing as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My next question for you is, being in prison and during the time of the Min March, how was that? And did you all get to see it? Did you all get to hear it? Like, how was that?
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I didn't join until the following year, right? I didn't join in 95. I joined in 96, right?
Yes, sir.
When during the Min March, the entire prison was shut down. Shut down. And you couldn't hear, wasn't nobody on the compound, wasn't nobody walking, nobody feeding. Everybody in prison, as God is my witness, in 1995, Roxbury, Hagerstown, everybody was watching the Min March. Everybody.
Praise be to Allah.
So the march, man, I bear witness, it impacted my life right away. Right away, man. Like, out of all the tapes and CDs and DVDs of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam, I studied the minister from 1993 to 1996. And we followed that blueprint in Baltimore City.
Praise be to Allah.
As God is my witness. So the blueprint that he laid down from 93 to 96, that's what the FOI in Baltimore City operate on to this very day.
Allahu Akbar. That's beautiful.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah, brother Jihad. Assalamu alaikum, brother Joshua. Thank you, brother Jihad, for always showing love in respect to drill as well. I want to, what has been your greatest trial in your tenure as in the Nation of Islam?
Man, my greatest trial for myself is myself. Is myself. Just me following the restricted laws, me striving to practice the principles of Islam.
Yes, sir.
And then striving to be a good brother, striving to be a righteous brother, striving to be a righteous father, a righteous husband, a righteous son. That is the greatest trial for me, because my mother put so much good in me.
Yes, sir.
That I'll do everything in my power to help anybody. I won't tell nobody no. And what I found out was that's not always good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, because you can set yourself up just by helping somebody.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know, and people will use that against you. And so my greatest trial is just myself. And I believe that's most of our greatest trials.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lord have mercy. Yes, sir.
And then constantly establishing my relationship with God and his messengers.
Praise be to Allah.
So I believe personally, if I can master them right there, like everything else would be heaven for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. What has been your greatest joy, brother Captain?
Man, my greatest joy, brother, and it's very easy for me to say this, but my greatest joy is helping the man that gave me life.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's my greatest joy. And what do I mean by that? For 20 years, man, I've been home from prison. June the 6th, it'll be 20 years. And my greatest joy has been helping my city out. And all of it comes from the guidance of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. All of it. You know? And I will never forget my mother. But
yes, sir.
Because she was the one at the gate, but helping brothers out. When I first came home from prison, I worked for Boy Scouts, right?
Yes, sir.
And it was an all-black troop because the numbers in Boy Scouts of America was down in the black community. So for 15 years, I taught and trained young black men in the hood and in the mosque for 15 years.
Allahu Akbar.
Curtis Bond. Then 9 years, I worked for Boys and Girls Club inside the prison, inside the jail. For 9 years. I taught and trained young men for 9 years in prison, in juvenile justice for 9 years.
Praise be to Allah.
And to this very day, you know, you can go down the list, Isaiah, Jihad, all them soldiers, man, all of them was under me. I had them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I wasn't their only teacher, but, you know, but they was a part of my troop.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They was a part of my troop. So, I basically gave them all the principles. Not we didn't do the traditional stuff because we could, you know, that was we couldn't get with that traditional stuff, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we gave them all the principles and fundamentals of scouting and how to be a man, etc. You know, we mixed the teachings up in that, of course, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the bottom line is serving our people in Baltimore City, man. The poor and suffering, the homeless, the brothers in the streets, the sisters in the streets, the families, the street organizations, putting out beefs every single week, man. Probably for the last 7 years, man. We've been putting out fires in our city. So, yeah, we stay in the streets, man. My phone ring every single day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Every single day about us helping somebody out in the community.
Yes, sir.
And we don't tell nobody no.
So
I think the FOI, man, in Baltimore City. I think the laborers in Baltimore City, man. But you know, my greatest joy was helping the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan out, man.
Beautiful, sir. And I want to say once again that myself, my family, and many of the soldiers that I'm around, when we see your Facebook is an advertisement for what the FOI should be like. Constantly in the street, y'all go Facebook Live. Every time you go Facebook Live, we're like, yo, Capt Andrew's out there doing something in the community, solving problems, doing the work, bro. It's an honorable thing, sir. And always with young people as well. Brother Michael Muhammad said it was crazy during that time. He's talking about the May March. He bears witness to the lockdown in the prison system. I'm assuming that he's saying he was in the prison system. Brother Isaiah says Troop 520. We had the Boy Scouts on lock. Brother Rashad said, oh, this is my brother. He said, how was it when the brothers helped with the riots? I believe it was Freddie Gray. Oh, that's a good question, Rashad. How was that doing that riot? How was that, and how was your role in that?
Man, that was very dangerous. That was very dangerous. And I thank Allah, man, that all the FOI, we had about 60 FOIs out there when it kicked off that Monday. We was the first ones out there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Out there
yes, sir.
With one pastor named Marvin McKinstry. And that's still our brother to this very day. Him and Brother Carlos are real tight, but that was one of the dangerous situations I've ever been in my life. When I left my house to meet with Brother Carlos to organize the men, as God is my witness, man, when I shut my door, I didn't know if I was coming back home or not. Because to be honest with you, I did not really want to go. But I knew we had to be there to help our young brothers and sisters out.
Yes, sir.
Because nobody want to walk into a burning fire.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Nobody.
That's right.
Nobody wants to walk into a burning fire.
Yes, sir.
And what we saw on TV, we seen our little brothers and sisters out there throwing bricks and bottles at the police. We knew we had to respond.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the student minister hit me. We called them in. We got them into the mosque. We organized. We got guidance from the Supreme Captain and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is standing between the guns and our people. And we went right down to ground zero, Pennsylvania and North Avenue, right where all hell was breaking loose. And it was very intimidating. But one thing I do know, without a law on our mind and hearts, brothers, nobody wanted to deal with that.
That's right.
Because them little brothers had guns and everything out there. It was too many of them. It was so many of them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But we was able to bring peace on Pennsylvania Avenue within about 4 or 5 hours.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu
And we
Akbar.
was able to separate the youngins from the police and their guns and us. You know, we got in between them. But also, you know, we had the Bloods, we had the Crips, they was
Yes,
right
sir.
there.
Yes,
We
sir.
had brothers from different organizations right there helping us out.
Praise
So
be to Allah. That's
it
beautiful.
wasn't just us, you know, but the bottom line was you know, after everything was done, you know, I thank Allah, man, because we really could have lost our lives that day, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And what you seen on TV and on the camera, trust me, to be on the ground, it wasn't nothing like what you seen on TV.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was scary as hell. It was scary as hell, and I was really concerned about our minister. So I put about 5 of the soldiers around him.
Allahu Akbar.
Because it was so much going on that, and he was handling his own anyway. You know,
Yes,
if you
sir.
look at the tapes, you'll see he was very aggressive.
Yes, sir.
Because a lot of them little soldiers that was out there, we knew them from the jails. After being in the prisons for 9 years, a lot of them youngers out there knew who he was.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we was able to ask them to, you know, let us work this out first. Work this out. Now, we couldn't stop them from going in all them stores and liquor stores. And all that.
Yes, sir.
But we did save one store though. It was the only black store out there. And that whole piece is on tape. That whole piece is on tape. It was a store right on Fulton and North Avenue. And that one black owner, we saved the store as long as we could. Once we left, of course, they tore it up.
Yes, sir.
But he was able to get his money back. He gave us a little check for a couple $100. He thanked us, and he watched us because he had a tape of us in his store on the outside because they took everything but the one camera he had hidden inside, right? Showed us the tape. I mean, literally, man. We put our lives on the line, brother.
Allahu Akbar.
Our lives on the line, but it was a great experience because you talking about crisis management.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's something we can use to this very day. But you know, the FOI, the Bloods, the Crips, Pastor Marvin, and Pastor Heber Brown. He was another pastor that was with us. And then a lot of people came after that. You had the 300 gangsters, they was there as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But the bottom line is that was a hell of an experience, man. I wouldn't want to experience that again.
Yes, sir.
But I do want to thank Allah for the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, because he told Brother Carlos exactly what to do. And then also Minister Akbar Muhammad, the international representative.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He came to Baltimore 2 weeks before the riot. And as God is my witness, I asked him in front of 100 men, what should we do? Because he was a part of that St. Louis piece.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Michael, what was his last name?
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In St. Louis, I asked him, what did y'all do in St. Louis? So he told us exactly what not to do, and he told us what we needed to do. And we took his advice. So thank Allah for Minister Akbar as well.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you for that. And I wanted to say thank you all for your comments as well. That I'll never forget being so proud. One of my former football teammates called me, big dude, strong. He's big in the church. And he called me, he said, turn to the channel. He said, the FOI is out there in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? And I looked, I said, Allahu Akbar. Of course, I felt pride at the same, but I'm nervous too, because I'm like, man, I don't want it to happen to y'all because, you know, we got to come and all that kind of stuff. I felt so much pride.
Yes.
FOI to see y'all out there. And then when Jeezy posted the picture of the FOI out there and with the smoke in it, I said, Allahu Akbar. You know what I'm saying? You all gave pride to the entire nation by doing the work. So we thank you all for that.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
yes sir.
My next question is, what do you do for fun, Brother Captain?
Man. Damn, what do I do for fun, man? Well, you know, I gotta be honest, brother. I really don't know no other way. But you know, it's a list of things I do for fun, because fun for me is relieving stress. That's fun for me. So one of the things I do for fun, man, I do everything in my power, man, to keep my family happy.
Praise be to Allah.
My wife, the ones that live with me, as far as my children, because I have a total of 6 children.
Okay, we're gonna come to that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I got 6 children, 132, 128, and 126. And thank God they very independent, thank God for that. But I got 3 other little ones, that's 9, 16, and 17. And then of course my wife of 18 years, it'll be 19 years next month.
Beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful.
the Lord, man. I do everything in my power, man, to keep them happy. Because I know if you keep that family happy, you'll have joy in the morning.
Yes,
and that's a trial by itself, but that's one of the things that I strive for, man, to give them everything I can afford, my time, my energy, my love, my kisses. That's a goal for me to keep my family happy. You know what I'm saying? That's a goal for me. And when I leave this earth, I want to make sure they don't have to struggle for one second. Yeah, when I leave this earth, man. So that's what I'm setting up the future for my family. And thank God I'm on my way. And then also, of course, I love working out. I love training.
Okay, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
I love running. I wish we had the GM down here. I wish the GM was here.
Yes, sir.
But that's one of the aspects of training, though. But I love training. I love working out. I love running. I love having fun. I love cracking jokes. You know what I'm saying? I love laughing, man. That's why when I see you laughing and shit, I was like, yeah. We gotta laugh, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta laugh, brother. We got enough pain inside.
Ain't that the truth?
We got enough pain. So I love laughing, man. I love watching people be successful. Young and old, man. I don't hate on no brother or sister, man. I love watching people to be successful, man. Women and men. I love that, man. I love to see how people are successful. Because it's inspiring to me. I love comedy shows.
Okay.
And damn, I think that's really it right there. I think that's really it. But I got this. The last thing I would say about that is, I think just because we in the streets so much, like this is not this is not a no talk, or like we in the streets on an average 3 to 4 times a week. Every single week. That's what we do in Baltimore City.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And this is not made up. This is not no talk.
Yeah.
We're in the week 3 to 4 times a week, every single week. We've been like that the last 3-4 years. And so I love being in the streets.
Yes, sir.
I love being in the streets. And I don't know if that's fun or not, but if you love something, and more importantly, I love leading the men out there.
Yes, sir.
I don't like. I do like when Isaiah do it, or the second officer do it, or Brother Carlos do it. But my goal is to outwork everybody in my mosque.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Go. I don't want nobody outworking me.
Allahu Akbar.
And I learned that from the brothers that came before me. I learned that from Brother Dave, Brother Al, Brother Chuck, Brother Carlos. Captain Larry. Captain Larry Muhammad. We still talk to this very day.
Praise be to Allah.
And then also shout out to our regional Captain Aaron Muhammad, because
yes, sir.
He has one of the blessings I get from him. He's a driver.
Yes, sir.
He'll drive you to break records.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's what I steal away from him. And then also he's very consistent in his love for the minister.
Allahu Akbar.
Because anybody keep the minister out in the front, I don't care if it's my son, I can follow you. If you keep the Honorable Minister Lewis, Minister Farrakhan out in the front, I can follow you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I enjoy right there, brother. Right there. Yes, sir.
Beautiful. And Brother Ed concurs and says that Brother Captain is a professional comedian. That's what he does for fun. My sister Miriam says that putting in work, all praises to Allah. Sister Teresa, family is everything. Sister Tracy says, good answer. You have an amazing wife. Brother Daniel E. Muhammad says, all praises to Allah. Brother Daniel, we coming to you very soon, sir, with your interview as well. My next, and Brother Willie says the Baltimore brothers have one of the strongest mosques and strongest FOI. Praise be to Allah. My last question for you, Brother Captain, is what do you want your legacy to be, sir?
Man, I thought about that. Yeah, I thought about that. And I really don't know. But what I do know is I don't want to die I don't want to be a legacy of being a coward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I do know, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I know I wanted to be a legacy of being a peacemaker.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I wanted to be a legacy of hearing, obeying, and following the instructions of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I want to continue and strive to be a better example for the brothers, the FOI in Baltimore City.
Yes, sir.
And I want to leave the legacy. I want to leave my family something outside of debt. That's what I want to. That's what. And then I really don't know the entire answer to that, but I do want to be known as giving back and helping out and just being a strong soldier.
Praise be to Allah. Well, you definitely do that already, Brother Captain. Yes, I want to say, Sister Tracy says, Brother Joshua Muhammad, you're going to have to come to Baltimore when the virus is gone, so you can feel why we love Baltimore and the mosque number 6 so much. They can even show you where the wire is made from. Exactly. Because that's why I'm asking those to Tracy. First, I'm saying, where is the wire? Where did they make the wire? Let's go to where they made the wire. So I can get a picture, you know what I'm saying, post it by all my friends.
Yes, sir.
I thank you, Brother Captain, for your strong testimony. You've known me longer than I've known you because I'm younger, so you more watch me grow up as opposed to the other way around. Yes, and ever since I've known you, serious, strong, and on your job, always about the brothers. And I learned more about you in this interview, of course, than I ever knew, but on social media, to see you doing the work and to see you about the youth, young soldiers working with you, that's so powerful. That's so important, Brother Captain. And the family man. I always see you proud of your children, proud of your wife. That's amazing, Brother Captain. We, my family salutes you because, man, we know the sacrifice that your wife has to make and your 6 children have made. So we thank them as well, Brother Captain. We thank them as well. And love you, Brother Captain. And thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on. And thank you all for watching. And may Allah bless you and the believers in number 6 to continue to put in the work on the front line.
Praise the Lord. And I want to make sure I don't forget the MGT and our student sister, Captain Leslie Muhammad.
Of course, of course, yes, sir.
Because they really helped to make us who we are.
Yes, sir.
You know, we are responsible for them. So I want to make sure I give a strong shout out, man, to Baltimore sisters, man, the MGT, because and Sister Captain, me and her have gotten so tight over these last 7 years since I've been a captain.
Beautiful. And
they are worthy of our respect and honor and our protection, man. So I want to make sure I give the MGT a strong shout out, man. The sisters in Muhammad Mosque number 6.
Absolutely. And I didn't know that you used to be in prison and your story, but I'm going to make sure that once I put this on YouTube, I send it to young men who are battling, and I see them going to the street so that your testimony can help get them to not go to prison and to find another way out. So I'm very inspired by this interview. Okay. Praise
the Lord. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, man. May Allah continue to bless you, man. And when you come in the city, you don't bring no money. We got you.
Okay. That's my kind of, I like that talk.
Don't bring no money.
Yes, sir. Well, love you, Rick.
You too, soldier. All right.
Assalamu alaikum.
Islam.